Excuse me, my question to you is in connection with the housing loan and all that is given to people by the banks. Could you please tell what is the system under the Islamic law, under the Islamic banking, which helps people to obtain at least a shelter for themselves?
Let's pose the question that suppose a person, he wants to buy a house, and if he wants a loan, how does the modern bank differ in giving loan for housing as compared to the Islamic bank? The main difference is that in the modern bank, suppose you want a loan for buying a house, but naturally you should have a particular percentage. It may be 25% or 50% of that house, or 40%, whatever the bank has as rules, you have to pay off that house. 25%, 40% or 50% of that house, initially you have to pay. The remaining balance, 75% or 60% or 50%, it's paid by the bank. And suppose the house cost for 3 lakhs, or it cost for 4 lakhs. The initial 1 lakh you paid, the remaining 3 lakh is paid by the modern bank. And say you want a time period of 5 years. So the modern bank take into account that 3 lakh loan has been taken from the modern bank. You will be repaying it in 3 years' time. And the interest rate for 3 years is calculated, whatever the amount will be. It may be 40,000 or 50,000 rupees. So it calculates the initial loan it has given you plus the interest. Say the interest is about 50,000. So the 3 lakh loan and 50,000 interest is paid in a period of 3 years. 3,50,000 is paid in installments. This 3,50,000 is divided by the number of months. That is 36 months. So every month you pay an installment of say somewhere around close to 10,000 rupees, 9,500, whatever it is, you pay. So the system of the modern bank is based on interest. The amount it has given you loan and the time period you take, the loan plus interest is the installments you pay. But natural, since it involves riba, it involves interest, it is haram in Islam. The system of the Islamic banking is different. There are various different types of systems. The loan that you take, from the Islamic bank, there are various ways in which you can take loans. Different banks have got different schemes. Some banks have the scheme that suppose you pay part. Again, you have to pay 25% or 40% or 50% of the initial amount of that flat. Out of 4 lakh, you pay 1 lakh. The remaining 3 lakh is given to you by the Islamic bank. Now the Islamic bank calculates that what is the average monthly rent of that house. Say, it may be about 15,000 per month. Since you have paid 25% of the initial amount of that house, and 75% is paid by the Islamic bank, the rent is divided. 25% of the rent you don't pay, the remaining 75% you pay. Whatever the amount comes to, every month. Since 75% of the house has been financed by the Islamic bank, 25% by you. So here you calculate the rent. And at the end of 3 years, they see to it that suppose they want a particular profit. So the Islamic bank says, I want a profit of about 40,000 rupees. I want a profit of 30,000 rupees at the end of 3 months. So 3 lakhs they have given to you, plus the 30,000 is added as profit. The 3.3 lakh is divided in the 36 months as installments. But here, it is not calculated on interest, it is calculated on profit. And every month you are paying rent. Every month you are paying rent of that house. That's one of the ways of taking loans. For example, if you go in the Al-Amin Bank, they have an Ashiana scheme, housing scheme, where you must, suppose you say, that after 4 years I'm going to get married, after 3 years I'm going to get married. They encourage you to start saving from now. So every month you can deposit either 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees of that amount in the Al-Amin Bank. It goes in the Ashiana scheme. And whatever you deposit, it is invested in the Mudaraba system. And you get profit on that. So at the end of 3 years, every year you keep on depositing 3,000 rupees, whatever it is. At the end of 3 years, it becomes 3 multiplied by 36. It becomes more than 1 lakh rupees, 1,08,000, and plus the profit. With the profit, it comes to 1,25,000 or 1,50,000. So now, the remaining 1.5 lakh is given to you by the Al-Amin Bank on the same basis, which is based on the rent. It's based on profit, it's not based on interest. So anything we deal with interest is haram. Anything we deal with profit and loss is allowed. Hope that answers the question.